So you've kind of got this gap of like high street, which are relatively like the cheapest pricing. Then you've got the challenger banks that are a bit more expensive. You've got a big gap to the next price point in the market. But if you need things to move quickly, you've got this big bit of wilderness here that no one's really operating in, and that's the area that we wanted to look and fill. And we thought, how best could we do that? So there was a couple of options really that we could have gone down. West One have done and have certainly done for some time commercial bridging. We understand commercial properties, the makeup of how it works, underwriting exits, all that sort of stuff. So there was that knowledge already within our business about the market, and what would have been probably easiest for us to do and would have probably been cheapest for us to do would have been to upskill a couple of our underwriters that are familiar with commercial bridging, launch a commercial term proposition off the back of that, and launch that into the market. And we've seen that done. We've seen that done with other lenders in the market where they've kind of upskilled the underwriters. And I think what we found is that you end up defaulting to the worst position, and then that becomes the underwrite for everything. So I know lenders where underwriters will underwrite bridging and buy to let, they underwrite the bridging as if it's a buy to let when it needs to be different. So we didn't want to do that because we felt that might impact our commercial bridging. We didn't think it was the wisest thing to do. So what did we do? Well, we looked to the market. We looked to who can we get in to come and lead this for us? Who's in charge of the best service in the proposition? And we look back to that landscape. And the best service out there, as I said, was together. There's a fellow that some of you might be familiar with called Duncan Abraham, who was been at Together for 26, 27 years, very senior figure in there. Used to run a lot of their underwriting divisions internally. We hired him, and we asked him to come and set up an office for us in Manchester. Clearly, they're based up north. Build a team. Clearly, when somebody's been working with a business for such a long time, they'll have some really strong internal relationships. They'll have some really trusted staff that want to move with them, that want to come with them. And Duncan's built a team where we've got a nice mix, actually. We've got a mix of new people with new experience from other lenders and other backgrounds and that are new to the business. But we've got a core of people that Duncan knew and trusted. We brought Duncan in, built the team out. We've got probably now about, I don't know, dozen to 15 staff up in that Manchester office. We've just actually outgrown the most recent office, so we're going to be taking up a new premises at some point over the next few months up there that really gives us the ability to grow that operation even more up in Manchester. But basically, Duncan came in, and you couldn't get a better way of building a product, because what the business has said to Duncan is they've gone, right, Duncan, there's a blank sheet of paper. What I want you to do, I want you to build a commercial proposition for us that is going to be really competitive, that's going to fill the gap in the market where the gaps are, that's going to do it the West One way, which is all about speed, excellence, great service, etc. And that's what we've done. We've got this all-encompassing proposition that we piloted probably last summer. We launched it to the market in October, and it's just been breaking records week on week. And this is the first in the series of webinars that are gonna bring some of our products to life. And we thought no better to talk about one than our commercial proposition. So if you were building a brand new proposition, we're going to solve some of the problems with it straight away. So what are some of the problems that are in the market that I've just alluded to? Well, firstly, there's no real kind of all-encompassing product that covers everything. So we've launched a product that we within our appetite covers everything that we want to lend on. So we're doing semi-commercial and commercial. We're doing investment and owner-occupied. And I've got a good example in a minute coming up where we've got a hybrid of the two. We're doing interest-only repayment. We're doing personal name and limited company. We're doing loans from as little as £50,000. I mean, talk about an underserved area of the market. Commercial term and having minimum loan sizes. Well, West One have launched our proposition with a minimum of 50,000, which is fantastic, going up to 5 million. So we're kind of serving both ends of the spectrum, and that's one for those that are familiar with our bridging proposition and know that we regularly write checks of 10, 15, 20 million plus. It's going to be nice to see how this product evolves over the coming months and years, because we've always been a lender that kind of we're there for the bigger deals as well as the smaller ones. So it'd be interesting to see how that will evolve.